Hi, this is Jon Rasmussen. DreamingIntoBeing.com is my website. I'd like to give you a few tips on how to cultivate the ideal relationships in your life, whether it be work, friends, love. And the first tip is to be easy, be light. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take your own beliefs, your own what we call sacred cows, so seriously that you don't allow the beliefs and the characteristics of other people. Allow for the diversity that is a part of nature, that is the wild part of nature. And allow yourself to not be rigid in your beliefs and the way you look at life. Recognize that there's great diversity and everybody experiences the world differently. And if you can just be allowing, that's the best way to be. The second thing is to not take anything personally. To recognize that everybody's creating their own experience and we're all playing roles in each other's scripts here in the theater. And so people experiencing something from you, engaging with you, it's much more about a kind of archetype. It's much more about their experience. And anybody could be providing that experience for them, and likewise the experience you're having could be with anybody. So it really is a very impersonal world. And the sooner you can realize that, the less likely you're to be offended by anybody, the easier it will be to let things go very quickly, let negative experiences go, let painful experiences go, and to not blame the other person, to not hold a grudge. The third thing is to make an effort to be grateful for that person. We will always, at first, put people on a pedestal. We'll think the best of them often. And then before long, we learn that they're just as human as anybody else. And they can fall off that pedestal. And this is that saying, familiarity breeds contempt. And it takes real effort not to fall into that. It actually takes, on a daily basis almost, finding all the things that you still appreciate about that person, even as you become more familiar with them and their flaws. If you can avoid putting people on the pedestal in the first place, if you could recognize that the world is non-hierarchical, that everybody is just as valuable as everybody else, then I think it's easier to maintain a respect and an appreciation for those around you, even as you become more and more familiar with their flaws and with anything else in their life that you don't necessarily agree with. That's the best way to maintain easy, healthy relationships that you can enjoy the gifts of for many, many years to come. You don't want to miss out on enjoying somebody else's gifts. You don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You don't want to confuse the teacher with the teachings. So anybody you have in your life, to the extent that you can continue to recognize and make an effort to recognize their values in spite of all that you've grown familiar with, then you will always be able to reap those gifts that they offer.